Friday Night Insights, Year 2, Week 1.
That'd be Volume 2?
Volume 2, otherwise known as 5 Full-Size Fellas on Football. It's not 5, but I like the alliteration. Besides, it's the old...
if you go by the average American weight, we might qualify.
It's the old...
3 thick guys.
Holy Grail. Joke. 1, 2, 5, 3, 7. Okay, let's talk football. We know it's non-conference week in Week 1 for everybody. We always start every football discussion in Metamora, Wes. Well, so why don't we?
Yeah.
The Zoo comes in.
Yeah, they can't run the A11 anymore, that one where everybody can catch a pass, because the National Federation first banned it, and then IHSA basically follows what the National Federation does. And
wisely so in this case.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of football's about deception, but this made a mockery of it. To tell you what we're talking about, the A11 offense basically allows everybody on the field's got a number of an eligible receiver. So then at any of the 8 guys who need to go out can go out for a pass. But be it a center or the left guard, or there's usually only 3 linemen.
So do they play their home games in an arena? I mean,
50-yard field.
It feels
in suburban Chicago.
bogus.
Yeah. Well, Otto has an ego that's pretty big, and he likes to think up stuff and think of ways to
Redbirds by a bunch?
I think so.
I will also take the Redbirds by a bunch.
Okay. Galesburg at Dunlap intrigues me.
Yeah, it's a great game. It was 21-20 last year and basically determined a playoff spot because they both finished 5-4, and Galesburg didn't get in because of playoff points. So if they win that game, they're 6-3 and they're in, and Dunlap's at home. So you hate to stress the importance of a game so early in the season, but in high school, around here with so many teams kind of in one big mass, you have to.
Who brings more back?
Galesburg brings more back.
Yeah, the Steck kid at quarterback has run the option for them for 2 years, and this will be his 3rd year.
We got Streaks picks?
No.
I'm
still taking Dunlap.
Okay.
I'll take the Streaks.
All right.
There it is. We're first.
Differed.
I think that got me banned from the Dunlap Alumni Club.
Pekin is at Richwoods under the pine trees.
That's where
Roland Brown moves a step to the side and takes over the headset or whatever.
You should see a few things different this year in Richwoods. I mean, they'll still run the ball, obviously, because they're Richwoods, but you might see a little more passing, mainly because of Dave Webb being involved with calling the offense.
I saw the words Richwood and spread in the same sentence, and I got a little afraid.
Well, I saw them practicing it, so they certainly have it in their playbook, and the ability to, I don't know, Roland didn't know. I mean, he knew I was coming to practice, so I guess he could have just been, if he's that crafty, I'll give him a ton of credit. But.
Another friend of the honor roll meet, Doug Nutter, takes over the Pekin Dragons.
Yeah, I like Doug a lot. I mean, he was he and my brother went to high school together, and I was there for a year when he was there. And just a really nice guy. He's a player's coach. Some of the players really dig. And this is a talented group at Pekin. They really are. They won at the underclass level. They lost last year for the first time. They were kind of ground down by George Cater, who was there before them a little bit. And I think Doug just brings
personal favorite.
A little bit, just a little bit of just perspective to the game for these kids, and they're having more fun, and they have 90+ kids out, which they should have that at their school.
Yeah, but still, Richwood's close in this thing.
I think Richwood just because Pekin's still learning a few things, and Richwood's just kind of moving on. So it's closer than the 28-7 was last year, but yeah, it's still Richwood's.
I still don't think it'll be that close. I think it's going to take Doug a few games to get those kids get what ailed them last year out of their systems totally.
Say a score.
I'll go Richwoods 42-6.
Oh, Lord. Okay. East Peoria's at Woodruff in the other Peoria Stadium game. Game in Peoria proper on Friday.
Yeah.
And another, we might be 5-4 when it's over type of game, right?
Yeah, especially for East Peoria. I mean, they play a little tougher schedule from top to bottom than Woodruff does. So any win they can get is huge. Woodruff has a lot of new pieces that graduated everybody from. Feels like Chappie was there for 7 years, wasn't he? 8.
Yeah, but it was 2 years ago that the Hidden group left. No. The biggest bulk.
2 years ago, yeah. And
Gutierrez.
Yeah, they have a lot of new pieces in place. They're kind of going to go back to what they did pre-Chappie at quarterback with Hidden. When Hidden was quarterback, maybe a little more passing, a little more screens and those type of things. I think Woodruff wins a close one just because their speed on defense is something that East Peoria really doesn't see a lot in the Mid-Illini. And with their type of offense, they can't really just, if they can line it up and just run it at Woodruff in the I formation and ground the clock down, then they can win the game. But I don't think they can do that.
Any idea?
I think the EP folks kind of missed a grand opportunity to build some momentum going into next year when all those kids were suspended for the playoff game last year. I think that kind of
2 kids.
Well, 2 kids, yeah, 2 kids. My mistake.
Screw discipline, momentum for the next year.
No. I mean, it was the right call, but
plus they were seniors, and those group were juniors.
So,
and it's a different type of atmosphere for those.
Yeah.
Kids.
So, but nevertheless, I think Woodruff will prevail in this.
Agreed.
Saturday night, at one of those places, Limestone plays ND in another MS6 crossover. Last year it came down to inches.
Yeah, it did. 20-25 was the final score, and I thought at that point it was kind of a sign of good things to come for both teams. But little did I know, I just kind of saw 2 struggling programs starting 2 growing pains seasons where they just grew. I mean, 2 new coaches, 2 new systems, and now you got second-year coaches and second years. These 2 teams could surprise some people this year, and the winner of this game has a huge advantage.
Washington goes down to Lanphier, master of the pan flute. What's Lanphier got?
Evidently, Lanphier has nothing.
Let's not waste time on it.
Yeah.
Washington starts 1-0 on Saturday. Sterling is at Morton as we return to Friday night. Sterling is really well regarded in the NCIC strong.
Yeah.
I can't get my president straight.
Think of
they,
it.
Geneseo, and Morris supposed to battle. And does Morton have enough to deal with them?
I mean,
No.
again, it's similar to the Limestone Notre Dame situation where second-year coach, they're still working at the kinks of like, what are we? And he's even changing his offense from what he had last year.
2 Golden Warriors picks.
Oh, absolutely.
Joseph Bertrand. Southeast is at Central in a 3rd Saturday game. That's the one that's at Peoria Stadium.
It's going to be a tough year for both these teams. Both these have to look at it as a game they can win and use it to. Especially Central's got a ton of sophomores playing, and they're trying to just build a program again. And getting a win early will be huge because then it might get just build some momentum to just get kids out of the hallways and then onto the field.
Let's pick some Peoria High.
I will. I'll pick Peoria High. Why not?
I'll go with Central. Why not?
Okay, done. We have Canton at Winnebago and Manual at Rantoul out of the area. Let's just jump over to one of your games for a minute. Princeville at Elmwood Brimfield. That is, I have the
Saturday.
site right, don't I?
Yeah, Princeville's
Yet
at
another
Elmwood.
Saturday game.
Yeah,
And
Elmwood couldn't get the lights, their new lights put up in time, so they had to move it to Saturday. That's hopefully going to be remedied by the time they come home in week 3, but we'll find out Saturday when I'm out there. Elmwood, for the second year, the schedule makers have done them no favors. I think they face like 7 playoff teams and a total of like 50-some victories.
It seems in that West Prairie Trail, it's like the luck of the draw.
Yeah,
I mean, your team does.
You can either get a Peoria Heights, no offense, boys, but you can.
No, but it's like,
Yeah.
I have 6 playoff teams, you have 2.
Yeah.
who's better here?
I think you're going to see
Rolling
Elmwood
Hornets?
Brimfield come out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Quick picks before we go on Canton up at Bago, a basketball school.
I'm taking Canton in a mild upset.
I'll go with Canton.
And the Rams at Rantoul, their only victim a year ago, am I wrong?
Yes.
Week 1 they beat them at like 8-7 and then they went 1-8.
Mm-hmm.
Manual's got a little bit better participation going, doesn't it?
They do. They got 65 kids, from top to bottom. Solid position players. I mean, solid for them. I mean, the guys that Fauser likes, guys that feels like he can open the playbook a little more this year than he did last year. So I like Manual to win this game. If they can win last year, they can win it this year.
Curious to see what Nick Hammerl does at quarterback.
Yeah,
I think that'll be good.
Monmouth is at IVC, and the Heights goes to Anawan as far as some of our other Metro games. But pick up the Friday paper to see who Ben. He's still thinking about those two. We will be back here every Thursday night. We got a spiffy new scoreboard for you on Friday night that we'll update as we go. These guys are twittering. I don't understand it. They're tweeting on Twitter.
Twitter.com/Wes Huett.
There you go.
I don't know what my address is.
/Ben Diggle. It's the same thing. He feigns
But we're progressive.
disinterest, but.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be here all year. Ciao.